Hello and welcome to What the Hell Just Happened, the vlog that bears witness to history so we can be ready for what's to come. I'm your host, Martin Ganapolar. Today we inaugurated a new president and vice president of the United States. Just this moment in our history marks both a recognition of the struggle for democracy and the enduring strength of it. Each generation faces this struggle in its own unique way. In 1970, the vocal group The Last Poets recorded a song called When the Revolution Comes. In it they said, when the revolution comes, some of us will probably catch it on TV with chicken hanging out of our mouths. You'll know it's revolution because there won't be no commercials. Most of us were shocked and surprised by the events in our nation's capital on Wednesday, January the 6th. Shocked, okay, sure. It was more ferocious and deadly than any politically motivated action in many years. But surprised? Nah, not really. I mean, was it a coincidence that the day after a Jew and a black were elected to the Senate from Georgia, the Confederate battle flag was displayed inside the Capitol building? These anti-government white supremacist grievances have been simmering in the boiling pot of America for over 70 years. It just took an ignorant, orange-painted wannabe despot to turn up the heat enough for the scum to rise up to the surface. And like so many Trump-inspired schemes, what happened in D.C. on the 6th was an utter failure. It was less a revolution and more a case of insurrectile dysfunction. But it did create a new niche market. Call it insurrection tourism. Guests of the insurrection will stay at the historic Trump Hotel, attend a no-mask rally, assault a cop, vandalize a landmark, terrorize lawmakers, and finally enjoy the fine takeout dining only the District of Columbia can provide. We'll be discussing and dissecting this event for years to come, but one thing is certain: mob rule, nurtured and fed by the President of the United States and his minions, was responsible for this shameful desecration and loss of life. The attack on our capital appears to have been planned and staged by outside groups aided and abetted by elected lawmakers sympathetic to QAnon and white supremacist philosophies. And by philosophies, I mean they believe that Democrats drink the blood of babies while trafficking in child porn paid for by George Soros, the liberal Jewish philanthropist. Okay, so it's not Aristotle. So who are these marauding groups anyway? You got to wonder about terrorists that call themselves the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys. I was halfway expecting the Beach Boys to show up and play their new hit, Bad Vibrations. And QAnon was there in large numbers as well. Now this bunch has elevated stupidity to a new level of cult following, even bigger than the reboot of Punky Brewster, now streaming on Peacock. As these violent bands of ignorant camo-clad stooges egged on by the disgraced president rioted and created chaos, the Congressmen were spirited away to safe areas until security could be restored. At least they were supposed to be safe. But some Republican lawmakers refused to wear masks in these tight quarters, and several of them were diagnosed COVID positive later that week. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said in a formal deposition that some of her colleagues threatened her under their breath, and she feared for her life as she waited for the all clear. How could she be sure that her legislative colleagues were not texting leaders of the mob to come and get her? She could not. After all, the crowd shouted for blood. They chanted, "Hang Mike Pence," and built a gallows outside the building. They threatened Speaker Pelosi repeatedly, calling her name out over bullhorns, even as they found her office and tore down her name placard over the door. And you know what the hell just happened this week? There's a report out that one young woman who grabbed Speaker Pelosi's laptop out of her office wanted to sell it to Russia. This actually happened in America, in the Capitol building, in 2021. Even after all this debacle and debauchery of that day, jerk-off Josh Hawley and totally treasonous Ted Cruz still wanted to debate the validity of the Electoral College vote, even as custodians cleaned the symbolic and literal shit left behind by the invading mob. Shouldn't there be some kind of litmus test for members of the legislative branch about this? Oh, that's right, there already is. You swore an oath to support the Constitution and you blew it. Now get the fuck out. President Biden has said that These shameful acts don't exemplify the real America. I hate to take issue with the president so early in his tenure, but yeah, they do. And it isn't over, not by a long shot. We'll see more shockingly stupid acts played out in Trump's name in the days and months to come. Count on that. So don't be surprised when it happens. As the Boy Scouts say, be prepared. The better we prepare ourselves for this inevitable bullshit, the better off we'll be. If these moronic knuckle-draggers can occupy the Capitol for a day, think what we can do in the days ahead, working together towards commonly shared goals. This is the only way we can reimagine our country to reflect that more perfect union that we as citizens want it to be. It's up to you and me now. So let's get to it. Good luck to President Biden and Vice President Harris, and to us all. Thanks for watching What the Hell Just Happened. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.